So there's a lot of exchanges and trading vehicles out there. There's only a few you should really care about, and those are the ones I'm going to talk to you about today. Welcome back, Lead Trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen here. There's a lot of markets out there, there's a lot of exchanges out there, but really, if you're a new or growing trader, there's only a few you should be focusing on. You might hear terms like Forex or grain markets at the CBOE, the CME. You should really, especially if you're growing and learning trading, ignore all of those. I'm going to talk to you about the main exchanges you should focus on, how you can target them, and really, where to look for opportunities. So I'm kind of going to start out at the top level and work down. Now, when I say start at the top level, that doesn't mean that there aren't sketchy stocks or sketchy companies on any of these exchanges. Remember, it is Wall Street. Sketchiness is sewn into the fabric of Wall Street. But the beauty of it is as you work through this hierarchy, the lower on the pole you get, the more volatility you get. So you can kind of look to swing trade or invest in some of these more established exchanges, and then you can look to day trade and particularly short sell in some of the lower tier exchanges. Starting at the top, the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, the oldest exchange in the US, started in actually I think it was 1870, maybe 1880 in the US. This is the original stock exchange and really is where most of the oldest, most established companies are listed. Now remember, as I mentioned, there still can be some sketchy companies here, but by and large, the biggest, the oldest companies are on the New York Stock Exchange. So when we're looking at the NYSE stocks, we're kind of looking for more of investment or maybe dividend plays or maybe swing trades. Now, keep in mind, as I talk about this, in StocksToTrade, right in your total view, right in your desktop, you'll see what exchange a stock is on. So if you're looking at a stock and you're like, hey, what exchange this is on, all you have to do is type in the ticker, StocksToTrade will show you. So really, swing trades, investments on the NYSE. So the next exchange is my favorite, the Nasdaq. And actually, on that note, let me know in the comments below what your favorite exchange is. Do you like to trade the OTCs? Do you like to trade the big board stocks? Or do you target the Nasdaq like I do? The reason I like the Nasdaq so much is many reasons. First of all, it's a very liquid market. It's an all electronic market. There's no, there's no manual trading like there still is. Very limited in the NYSE, but it still does exist. But all electronic exchange, and it's really the home of the tech companies, the tech industry. I'm an old school nerd. Had an Apple II back in the early '80s. I've always loved technology. I actually owned a technology business. So Nasdaq is the home of the Googles, the Apples, the Amazons, all of these hot tech companies that, first of all, they have interesting businesses, and they're also typically very volatile stocks. You can get great moves out of some of these tech stocks that you won't necessarily get with the big board stocks unless there's some big news. The NASDAQ stocks move every day. There's liquidity there every day. They're easy to get in and out of. You don't run into liquidity issues like you can in the OTCs and the AMEX that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So really my favorite exchange is the NASDAQ, and mainly for those liquidity and those tech issue ideas. So next below that is the OTCs and the AMEX markets. This is really the wild, wild west. Be sure you know what you're getting into. Again, the nice thing I like about StocksToTrade, you've got a ticker, you bring it up, you instantly know if it's an OTC or an AMEX stock. Now, as long as you know what you're trading, you know what you own. This is a term I use in StocksToTrade Pro a lot. We'll trade the sketchiest of sketchy penny stocks with no news, with bad histories, with sketchy CEOs and everything. But always know what you own, and especially if you're talking about an overnight trade where you're holding this for days or weeks, You always want to be sure that you do your due diligence and use caution before you hold an OTC market or OTC stock or AMEX stock overnight. The AMEX and the OTC markets kind of have come in and out of vogue. If you look at 5-6 years ago when Tim Grittani was getting started, one of the best penny stock traders out there, he made the majority of his profits in the OTC market, but they were hot back then. The OTCs were the land of the promotion, the land of the pump and dump. And as markets have matured and the SEC has gotten a little more diligent in their research and investigation of companies, these OTC stocks have quieted down a little bit, and you don't see the pump and dumps like you used to. There isn't as much opportunity in the OTC markets anymore as there used to be. Now, I really think it will come back. We will the markets are always cyclical. You know, I always joke and refer to the stock market, it's a lot like fashion, you know, or hairstyles. Stuff goes out of style and it comes back in style. People laugh about what something in fashion looked like 5 years ago, but then a couple years from now, what they were laughing about is back in style, and markets are like that. So really, day trading wise, you're going to start at the bottom of that tier. If you're looking for extreme volatility, trade those AMEX stocks, trade those OTC stocks, but only on a day time frame. If you're going to hold them overnight, make sure you want to hold them overnight. These are the type of stocks that you can wake up in the morning and they gap down 20% and you're like wishing you didn't own it. And then once you move up to the Nasdaq, you're going to start looking for these for those swing trades, still day trades. Nasdaq stocks are still very day trade friendly, but we're moving to that tier of these stocks that we're not as worried about holding for days and weeks. And then at the top, back to the NYSE. Maybe if you're looking to, maybe you're entering a busy period in life and you're not really looking to micromanage these stocks, you can definitely hold those long term without, you know, there's always risk in every trading vehicle, but without as much fear of something catastrophic happening. So again, would like to know, comment below, what's your favorite exchange to trade? Do you love those OTCs? Do you like the Nasdaq like me? Or do you like the big board stocks? Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to comment below with any trading related question. We love answering your questions. Also, like and share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to be notified as soon as our next video hits. And if you're looking to expand your trading knowledge, don't forget to check out all of our other videos, and be sure to click the trial below. Check out StocksToTrade. I think it is one of the best, most rapidly advancing softwares out there. Be sure to check out our trial.